Hello, my fellow TV aficionados. There is a movie on Geo Cinema called Mr. Monk's Last Case, and that is based on the characters in the TV series Monk. I watched it around 15 years ago when it was still coming out weekly, and I really liked it, because at that time it really resonated with my OCD tendencies, about cleanliness and how everything should be in its place. And after I watched the movie, it still did. So it reminded me about so many good cameos by so many good actors in that time, when the original series was airing. And so I thought that why not, share my love for acting and actors on my vlog. So I am Akshat, and of course, if you haven't tuned in earlier, then do check out my other videos for some awesomax fun. And have you seen Young Sheldon? So Young Sheldon's two oldies characters. One which is the suitor of young Sheldon's grandma, or as he calls her, Mimo, called Dale. He is the guy who turns out to be the big bad in Monk. He is the one who kills, spoiler alert, Monk's wife in the flashback of before the series. And I think excuse me, still haven't recovered fully from that viral fever. Okay, but we will talk about Young Sheldon's oldies later at the end of this video, which might turn out to be a long one because it just shines through my love for TV and creativity and the silver screen and my innermost desire to be on it as well, professionally, not vlogging. But that's all right. Who knows? The past is history, the future is a mystery. As I say, Sixarism. There it is near the globe. There we go. Okay, so let's start with Jason Alexander. Right, I like it. Jason Alexander, of course, is George Costanza in Seinfeld, and I mean, that was a character that made him iconic. And in this series, he plays a sort of rip-off of Mr. Monk, a cheap rip-off. And of course, he's cheating because of his mother, who is a customer care representative. So she overhears the criminals discussing their crime and she feeds him information. And, it snowballs. Okay, but apart from Jason Alexander, and I'm going to move through these cameos and actors and actresses pretty quickly because I too don't want to keep you waiting too long till the end, which is when we are going to be talking about Young Sheldon. Okay, so Charlie Harper's mother from Two and a Half Men. She's a great actress, and she here plays the mom of Mr. Monk's assistant. New assistant, actually, the one after Sharona, played by Pitty Schramm, I think, left. And then there is, of course, Nick Offerman, who broke out in Parks and Rec, which is also a good rewatch series, but it tends to be a bit cloggy at times. I don't know. I mean, see, this is what I'm talking about. Luck is such a huge factor in becoming a celebrity. Chris Pratt, who used to spend his youthful days on the beaches of Hawaii just smoking weed and fishing and just waiting tables, he was discovered while waiting tables in Hawaii and brought over to California for a, I think, independent movie or a short movie or something. And from there, his career has built up to where he is now, married to Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter, I think. So, you never know, but I know, and I try and do that manifestation thing in which I really, really put my positive thoughts out into the world, as I said, Sixarism wise, and hope for the best, not just for me, but for little Advitya, my baby daughter as well. Moving on, Sheldon Cooper's mom the lady who played Sheldon Cooper's mom in The Big Bang Theory, the parent, so to speak, of young Sheldon. She plays a very eccentric, oddball character in Monk as well. Then there is that sort of weirdly shaped road trip guy who played a drug addict or something like that in The Big Bang Theory when young Sheldon was trying to, sorry, when old Sheldon was trying to make up an alibi or a lie or something like that, making it watertight with lots of subterfuges. I lisp sometimes, as do the best of us. Then, of course, there's Jeffrey Donovan, the burn notice guy, and he actually has a very unique way of killing his victim. And in the end, Monk stares him down from the while he's sitting in the cockpit of an FA-22 Raptor. And in this part in which Monk is running alongside and ahead of a Raptor which is taxiing down a runway is actually in the title credits as well. So some of the title credits did change once Betty Schramm left, and Trailer Howard, the assistant, the new assistant, Natalie, when she joined. So coming back from the title sequence thing, and this is basically just a reminiscence video, so you know, it's my vlog and freedom. There's also Jon Favreau, Iron Man creator, director, and of course Happy Hogan in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Look at that, just above. So as you can see, my akshat is made up of Avengers, X-Men, the peace sign or the nuclear disarmament sign, and a red cross, because of course medical science, where would we be without it. There's the Avengers poster that I wanted to show you because the Marvel Cinematic Universe has cropped up. That right there is the Lord of the Rings, the inscription on the ring that I hand wrote, and that I can, you know, I still remember it. Ashnaz Durbatuluk, Ashnaz Gimbatul, Ashnaz Thrakatuluk, Ak Burzumishi Krimpatul. Wondering to rule them all, wondering to find them, wondering to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them. That's some Tolkien rap for you right there. Alright. Kidding apart, Prison Break, a few of the actors from Prison Break show up, including the guy who was a little deranged in Prison Break. Then there's Andy Richter, who is Conan O'Brien's sidekick in his show. And Pearl Jam are name dropped for some reason in one of the episodes. And I was talking about Tolkien right now. Samwise Gamgee is the guy, as Monk says, he's the guy in one of the episodes. And Evelyn Harper, of course, as I mentioned, Charlie Harper's mother from 2.5 Men. Charlie Sheen, I mean, I don't know what he's up to these days, but I'm pretty sure it's something extraordinary, for lack of a better word. And then there's Bulldog from Frazier. Frazier is, of course, another awesomax show that I wouldn't mind rewatching. Minus the Niles and Daphne subplots, because they are one watch. But Frazier's, turns of phrases and everything are pretty well watchable. Then there's Sarah Silverman, who plays a fanatical fan of Monk, and she appears in a couple or maybe 3 episodes, so she's a sort of a recurring character. Snoop Doggy Dogg, he makes an actual rap at the end of the episode that features him as the suspect, which of course turns out to be the wrong suspect. And it's really nice to see that Monk was at its height, at its peak popularity at that time, that A-list celebrities were willing to cameo in it, kind of like Curb Your Enthusiasm in its initial seasons, or throughout its seasons actually. And for the record, the last season was alright, the previous ones were better, but that's how it generally goes with such shows. It hits its kind of peak sometime during the middle, and that's why I like Monk, because as soon as that plateau started to happen in quality, they just absolutely rounded up the whole who murdered Mrs. Monk thing, which is what I told you in the beginning. Sheldon Cooper's grandmom's boyfriend, Dale. He's the guy. Okay. And then there's a Breaking Bad guy. The guy who hits his head while running away from Huey and gets, breaks his neck or something like that. Who was defaulting on the IRS, and Walter White's wife, Skyler, gave him money to pay off the IRS, but he went and bought a Mercedes or something like that. So that guy is there in one episode. Angela Kinsey from The Office. The Office, another awesomax show, and lots of rewatch value there because of Steve Carell's character, of course. And you should watch the original Office, although it's not very relatable because it's got lots of Ricky Gervais, in his British sort of accent and idioms, which might not always land with all audiences. And then there's talking about The Office, the main Mrs. Monk character is played by Melora Hardin, who is Jan, Steve Carell's love interest for most of the series, before he falls in love with his eventual wife. There's a revolver or a pistol called a Snub 38, which is the name of another Breaking Bad episode. And while I was writing this, I just realized that the best times to record rhymes just blew by. But Barry Kripke from The Big Bang Theory is also in one of the episodes, and he's the guy, of course. Then there's Abruzzi of Prison Break. He's, of course, Peter Stormare, who was in American Gods and lots of other very heavy characters that I can't recall for the life of me. Also, I want to get to the end of this video, and lunch awaits. Brad Garrett, the huge guy from Everybody Loves Raymond, he was in Not Dead Yet as well. Not Dead Yet is another series that I have reviewed. So if you've watched this far, or if you're ever watching this in the vast wide future that lies ahead of us, check out my review of Not Dead Yet as well, because it fits in very nicely with my existentialist yet legacy focused philosophy. Scott Bakula of Quantum Leap and the mother from Modern Family, they are there. The CIA guy from The Americans. Then there's Echo from Lost. Lost was, of course, very nice in the first 2-3 seasons, and then it just went to crap. Pardon my French. There was this more Modern Family character, Eric Stone Street, the hefty guy. He plays a mechanic called Boom Boom, which is what we have taught with Vidya to call her excretions. And Lance Barber, the father of young Sheldon, is there in one episode. Even though he's in a very minor role, he's just lugging around a refrigerator for Mr. Monk. And Meatloaf, who appeared in Fight Club, which is right there, as you can see, he is in one episode as well. Alright. The husband in Fargo, the movie, the actual movie, not these spin-off TV series, he is there in one episode. The jailer from Prison Break is there in one episode. And the shrink sessions that Monk has. Okay. The shrink sessions that Monk has with his psychiatrist remind me of The Sopranos, which is great, but very, very, very A. Like A with a capital A, 3 A's. You don't want to watch it with kids. The last very nice parallel is that Dale, as I said, from the young Sheldon, is the main guy. And in that same episode, in the last 2 episodes, the finale, he kills Dr. Linklater, the character Dr. Linklater from young Sheldon. And another spiral is that this actor played a very important role in 6 Feet Under, which is another series that you must watch if you are a bit morbid. And I have reviewed that as well. So check out my review of that as well. Okay, so that I think is a good end to this video. And everyone dies, fictional or real. So appreciate your privilege. I hope Advitya enjoys her life. I will live by my awesomax 6-arism, and I'm gonna stop this video right here. 15 minutes might be my personal best. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye, take care. I am Akshat once again. Thank you so much for watching. Check out my other videos.